Welcome to How to Play by Cathouse Gaming, where our goal is to explain the key game mechanics needed to get you and your table mates playing. We know you'd rather be gaming, so let's get started. Hey guys, today's game is Queendomino. In Queendomino, players are royalty seeking to expand their kingdoms by acquiring the best terrain for their people. In addition to acquiring land, players can sign up their knights to collect taxes, construct buildings, bribe a dragon to destroy building plans, and build towers to curry the queen's favor. Queendomino is a tile placement game for 2 to 4 players. Each tile is numbered 1 through 48 on the back and is comprised of at least one type of landscape on the front. The tiles are played in a manner similar to a game of dominoes, and the game ends once the draw pile has been exhausted. At this point, everyone will have a kingdom contained within either a 5x5 or a 7x7 grid, depends on the player number. Players earn victory points in a few different ways. Take a look at the score pad for an at-a-glance summary. The primary way to score points is by having connected terrain types containing crowns. The number of crowns in each section is multiplied by the number of terrain tiles within that section, and then the points for every section is summed in order to provide the overall score. Hosting the queen at the end of the game grants the player an additional crown in one of their sections. Buildings also score points in one of 4 different ways. The first type of building scores victory points for disconnected terrains of the same type. The second is a multiplier of the number of knights you have. The third is a multiplier of the number of towers you have. And the fourth is just straight up victory points. Last but not least, every 3 coins a player has at game end is worth 1 victory point. The royal with the most victory points wins. Each player takes a castle foundation tile, a castle, the meeple or meeples which match the castle color, a knight, and coins with a value of 7. You'll need both meeples in a 2-player game and just 1 in a 3 or 4-player game. Place the builder's board in the middle of the table and the dragon atop his cave. Shuffle the building tiles and place them gray side up on the red square of the builder's board. Fill the empty spaces of the builder's board with the top 6 tiles from the stack, keeping the gray side up. Place the queen, the knights, the towers, and the coins near the builder's board and within easy reach of the players. Shuffle all of the dominoes and place them in the box so that neither the front nor the back of the tile is visible to the players. Randomly select 4 tiles and align them face down in the column in ascending order. Flip all of the tiles over. Randomly select a start player. This player examines the tiles and places their meeple on the tile of their choice. Randomly select the next player who does the same. This repeats until all of the players have selected a tile. In a 3-player game, the 4th unselected tile is removed from the game. In a 2-player game, each player has 2 meeples and will select 2 total tiles per column. The randomly selected start player will choose first and third, while their opponent chooses second and fourth. Tiles are comprised of 7 different types of landscapes: wheat fields, forests, grasslands, lakes, swamps, mines, and towns. In order to build the best kingdom, it is important to have conjoined landscape tiles of the same type containing crowns. Tile placement in the kingdom must follow certain rules. At least one of the landscapes must match a previously placed landscape in the kingdom, or be touching the castle tile, which is considered to be a wild. No part of the tile may cause the entire kingdom to exceed a 7x7 grid in a 2-player game or a 5x5 grid in a 3 or a 4-player game. If the tile has no legal placement, it must be discarded. This will lead to some holes in the final kingdom for that player. Players cannot voluntarily choose to discard a tile. If there is a legal placement for the tile, it must be placed. The builder's board consists of the dragon's cave, the building draw pile, and a maximum of 6 available buildings. Each building is gray side up with the cost shown underneath. The top left of the building tile shows the benefit received when the building is built. The bottom left shows the in-game benefit that will be granted for the remainder of the game, and the bottom right shows the end-game victory points. Details of the benefits can be found on page 4 of the rulebook. Once a building has been purchased, it is flipped red side up and placed on an empty construction square within your kingdom. You can only build 1 building on each available construction space. Everyone starts with a single knight and can earn more with the purchase of specific buildings. Knights can be placed on the domino that was most recently added to a player's kingdom in order to collect taxes from the people. The player will collect 1 coin for every connected square of the landscape the knight was placed upon. Up to 2 knights may be placed on the domino, 1 for each terrain type. Knights obtained in the current round may not collect taxes until a subsequent round. The queen has a thing for towers. She immediately goes to visit the kingdom with the most towers. This includes ties, so when a second player becomes tied for the most towers, she'll go visit them. Whoever hosts the queen receives a discount of 1 coin when purchasing a building. She also counts as a crown at the game end because she's the queen and therefore travels with a crown. Place her on your largest territory and rack in the points. The dragon lives in a cave conveniently near the builder's board and is always interested in growing his hoard. Players can use this to their advantage by bribing him to destroy one of the visible buildings on the board. The queen frowns on this type of conduct, so you cannot be hosting her at the time of the bribe. He can only be bribed once per round. If he is in his cave, he's available for mayhem. Once all tiles in the active column have been claimed with a meeple, select the next 4 tiles and align them face down in a column next to the active column. Tiles should be in ascending order. Flip the tiles so the landscapes are visible. Beginning with the player whose meeple is on the topmost and lowest value tile of the active column, the player removes their meeple, places the tile in their kingdom following the placement rules, and places their meeple onto an unclaimed tile in the next row. They can also perform the following optional actions. Dispatch 1 or 2 knights onto the tile that was just placed within the kingdom to tax that particular terrain. Bribe the dragon with 1 coin to destroy one of the 6 face-up buildings. Purchase one of the 6 face-up buildings by paying the cost shown under the building. Buildings do not refill until the end of the round. Moving from the lowest to the highest of tiles, this process continues until there are no more tiles in the starting column and all meeples have been placed on the newest column. In a 3-player game, the final, unselected tile will be removed from the game. At this point, the dragon returns to his cave, available buildings are updated, and a new column of 4 tiles is selected. Gameplay continues in this fashion until all tiles have been incorporated into the kingdoms or discarded from the game. The game ends once there are no more tiles to be taken. Everyone counts their total number of victory points using the fancy scoring pad provided with the game. For example, a kingdom may look like this at the end of the game. This player scores 4 victory points for coins, no points for fields, 4 points for forest, 8 points for lakes, 28 for grasslands, nothing for swamps, 8 for mines, and 3 for towns. This player also has 2 special purpose buildings. One of them scores them 10 points for having detached fields. The other one scores them 3 points just for being a tavern within the town. Their final score is 68 points. That's a wrap. You now know how to play Queendomino. Go build amazing kingdoms and may the best royal win.